Again. Start. Go.
Too much. Oh.
Let's get started. Izzy.
Yo!
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on our next episode of our podcast. This is episode 7. Wow,
Oh.
7 episodes already. Huh, pretty cool. Yeah, we're excited to be here. Shout out to Coach Lane. Go check him out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify.
Yeah.
He
His
has a
own
website, coachlane.com. I don't know if that's it. Sorry, Coach Lane. I don't know your website, but it's on my phone. Like I just click on it. Anyways, we'll put it in the description below. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna be talking about our last competition.
Yes, in
Utah.
Utah.
Woohoo!
It was fun.
How much fun did you have?
Oh, more fun than I've ever had in a competition ever. It
Like,
was so awesome.
that was a really, really fun comp.
Yes.
So, never flown before. I think we talked about in the last podcast.
Yeah.
We got to fly together.
Yeah, we were really close to each other.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you were in front of me.
Yep, right behind.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right behind me. And we had some other families on the plane as well. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
So it wasn't, I couldn't be so scared.
Okay, I was stressed a little bit. The flight got delayed.
Yes.
And I was like, don't let this happen. Because I was like, if it was on a Thursday and we had Friday to kind of, have a day just in case if something happened, it'd be different. But we were going on a Friday and the next day we were competing. What if it's canceled? And then
Yeah.
it wasn't.
And we'd have to
And
drive
it was fine.
all night long.
Yes.
And then compete. Yeah.
That'd have been horrible.
Yeah. It was just a delayed about 20-something
Yeah.
minutes. But yeah, I couldn't be as scared as I wanted to be. I think your mom asked me. I don't know if she could see me through the seat. But I think she was like, I think you asked, are you okay? Somebody asked me if I
Yeah,
was okay.
because you kept looking back and but I think it's because you couldn't see through the window.
Yeah.
And so you didn't know where you were, you didn't know what was happening, and I was like, I could just see you looking back and forth, and I was like, "Are you good?"
Yeah, there's 2 guys next to me, and they sat down and immediately shut their window, and I'm like, that's rude. But it's their window. I didn't pay for that seat, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know how it works. And then, I have my wife and kids on this side. There's only 3 seats,
Yeah.
and they're all enjoying the window. And I'm in the middle, the aisle's right here. I'm like, I can't see. Yeah.
So
I
you don't know where
what's
you
going on.
are. Yeah.
I didn't know if we were already took off or if we were in the process of taking off, how high we were. I didn't know.
And then for a
anything.
while, they didn't tell you, "Oh, we're taking off or we're landing."
Yeah.
All of a sudden we're going fast, and then all of a sudden we were down on the ground, and it was just like boom, 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 and we're like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
I heard him say, we'll be landing in about 25 minutes, so get ready for landing, seatbelt sign came up, whatever happened. For the descent, he said, get ready for the descent. And I was like, all right, great.
And you're just anticipating.
Well, I don't know how long 25 minutes is because I'm not watching my watch. I don't have a timer. And all of a sudden, and I'm like, we're bouncing. And are we crashing? What's going on? But it was funny because we had other athletes and other families.
Yeah.
So, I can't be like, so
It's like
they
the little
helped me.
kids too.
Yep, they were little.
And they're all scared. So you're like, "Oh yeah, it's fine," and you're all, "I don't think it's fine."
Yeah, no, that's why I kept looking back because
Yeah.
the 2 little ones right there, and I could see them.
Yeah.
And they were like really scared. I kept like giving them a thumbs up and trying to,
Yeah.
make sure they were okay. And internally, I was like, yeah, I was freaking out. It was so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, good flight.
Yeah.
And Utah, we landed in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah.
We stayed in a town called Lehigh. I don't know where you stayed.
I stayed in the town that the comp was at.
Orem.
Orem,
Orem.
Utah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where that was at. Yeah.
Oh, it was cool actually. I had some of the JAMZ staff literally right across from the hall.
Oh,
And I
wow.
saw them get out of the car and they walked past and I was all, they're JAMZ staff because they had all their gear and stuff. And so I was watching what window they went to. But anyways, on the way back from the competition though, I was in the elevator with one of the judges, and then she's all, "Nice jacket," and I was all, "Oh, thank you." But she didn't have anything on that was jam, so I was like, I didn't know that she was a judge, and she goes, "Oh, I just judged your competition." I was like, "Really?" She goes, "Is your competition over, or is your competition season over?" And I was all, "No, we're going to Pinnacle," and she's all, "Well, I'll judge your I'll judge your routine at Pinnacle."
Oh, wow.
I was all,
So
"Cool."
after my tuck, I'm gonna give you a thumbs up.
No,
But
it was
yeah,
really
that's fun.
fun. It was cool.
Yeah. Were they like glowing like angels? like they were superheroes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how we always think of the Jam staff.
Yeah,
Like, oh
I'm
my
all,
God, they're
oh my
awesome.
God, they're so
I do the
cool.
same thing. I'm always
Yeah.
like, hey, they talk to me. I'm an adult. Hey, that guy talked to me. Yeah, he gave me a high five. So
Yeah.
funny. But yeah, we stay. I liked Utah. I've never been to
Yeah, it was really
Utah.
fun.
The people were nice in Utah.
Yes,
Really
all the
clean.
teams, even the parents, the coaches, the athletes, there was not one negative interaction that I had. And that, like, so far I've heard nobody else had one either. And so it was really cool because there was nothing but compliments throughout the entire competition. Like, usually, like, the athletes are nice and the coaches are nice, but
Yeah,
then there's mean parents. There was not mean parents there. Like, I had compliments on the uniforms and on my hair. A lot of compliments on my hair,
yeah,
actually. But I think it's because they, like, the uniform difference, I feel like the uniforms are so different between the Utah like teams and then like us. A lot of people have flowy skirts and very colorful uniforms.
yeah,
We have like
yeah,
black uniforms and then like the stick skirt, it's like tighter,
yeah,
but like the uniforms look different and we got a lot of compliments on the uniforms.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I didn't
that
feel
was really cool.
usually when you walk around the competition, coaches and you feel, let's walk by this team, but it happens and it's
Yeah,
just everybody's in their mindset. Everybody's like,
like
comp
in the
mode.
zone,
Let's go,
just
let's go. This time it was so friendly when we got there.
yeah.
It was just nice and I really really enjoyed this comp.
Yes, even
Um
backstage.
yes.
Backstage, everybody was screaming like the whole time.
Yeah.
And then there's team like in between some of the stations, there were teams that were standing in between the stations, like between the tumbling mat and then the dead mat, and they were all screaming for you and cheering you on, and it was really cool.
Yeah, and the Jam staff that was there did a really great job.
Yes,
That was one of the, when we go to comps, it's hard, and I know they have a hard job, but to keep it on schedule and keep it running smoothly,
yes,
is it's you don't ever get that. Most of the time it's like somebody's backed up, something's happening. Okay, it's rushed. It's like you feel so rushed. This
yeah,
one was so on time. We even had
just
space to like
relaxed.
kind of like chill because they were ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
Um, and so it wasn't so like rushed backstage. It was actually a really good trip.
yeah.
Really good comp and the arena. What I man, I sorry, I apologize. I don't know what college that was. USCC maybe?
Something like
Something
that.
like that. Really beautiful place.
Yes,
The arena was beautiful. I think
yeah.
they usually have basketball or something there, but um above the spring floor they had the I forget what
The
that's called.
TV
Yeah, the TVs
things.
and the scoreboard or whatever it is, and they had
Yeah.
four TVs going, and you can watch what's going on down there
Oh,
in the
I was watching
audience.
it.
Yeah,
Like me and Justin, we were saying that like we were looking up at the TV so we could see what stunts were still up in the air.
yeah,
And we're all, I should probably be watching my own stunt,
yeah,
but I was watching we were all watching the TV while we're performing.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it was funny.
yeah. No, I liked that. I liked it. Backstage was really yeah, it was
It was
nice.
just so like
And
good
it ran
all
smooth,
around. Yeah.
ran smooth. And from the airport on, all these little towns, all these little restaurants, the gas station. When we went into places, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm used to Arizona. I'm not saying Arizona people are bad or anything, but it was just super.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about the weekend. It was just like this super positive. Everything was clean. The restaurants, the places we ate was amazing food because we didn't eat at places like that we have here.
Yeah.
I went to like their local, like we went to a place called Seven Brothers, and I know that's not anywhere else but in Utah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's only in that city. I don't know. But it was called Seven Brothers, a family-owned restaurant. Oh, amazing hamburgers, really good food. We went to this other place. I don't know what it was, but had like chicken fingers, and then they had um what is it called? Caramel and hot fudge that you could buy in a jar.
Really?
And the waiter there he was so nice, and he brought us out this plate of caramel and a plate of fudge, and I almost ate all of it by myself. But he's like, taste this because we make it here. And I couldn't take it back on the plane. I was so upset.
Oh,
So I'm gonna try to find them online to see if I can order it and they ship it to me because
yeah.
that stuff was amazing. But just the atmosphere like that, no matter
Yeah.
where we went, the hotel
It was
staff,
positive.
you know, there was just nobody grumpy. And I don't know if it was just the weekend. It
Yeah.
was nice
And
weather.
it
I
was
don't know if
so beautiful there. Like the snow on the mountains, just the scenery too. It was just so like peaceful.
yeah,
It was so
yeah,
nice.
and the snow on the mountains didn't make it cold because it was nice and
No.
warm.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I think right before we got there, a couple of days, I saw on TikTok houses were flooding because the snow was melting. I was like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, are we gonna get there? It's all flooded out. but it wasn't. But
No.
yeah, it was just beautiful. And yeah, the comp, getting to the comp, the other teams were there's all-star, so they had all-star and NA mixed,
Yeah.
which was really nice because before, they had an NA team, all-star team, NA team. So you got to see, an NA team perform, then you got to see a really good all-star team.
Yeah.
They're doing double fools and all this stuff, and you're like, oh, and
Yes.
you get to watch it right before you get on the map, which
Yeah.
was amazing because it pumps you up, it gets you excited that you're an actual cheerleader. Got me excited that I was a coach, and I'm like, I coach that stuff.
Yeah.
I can do that one day.
Yeah.
Some of my athletes are going to be able to do that. So yeah, really exciting to see that. And the teams were really good. Yeah, and they're going to try to do that again next year. Ruben was saying, over there again in
Yeah.
Utah. This is the first time in Utah.
Cool.
And I wish them all success, and I hope
Yes.
more NA teams join, and I hope that we make it really big in Utah. So if you're listening now, you're starting your season out, maybe you can go to that Utah competition for JAMZ, register and show up. I'm telling you, it's a really,
It
really
was
good
so
time.
cool. I actually kind of like it was different the setup because a lot of times at competitions you can't see who's performing because there's like a curtain and you're like behind it or like inside of like this tunnel type thing. But this competition, like you were on the side of the floor waiting to go, and I kind of actually liked that because I could watch them. And it was really fun.
It was about the experience. Remember, I
Yeah.
talked about on another podcast. When you get to the events, open your eyes, have a great time, enjoy the entire experience. And
Yes.
I think they heard me because they put you. We got to enjoy it
Yeah.
because you don't, right? You don't get to see other teams. You go backstage, and that whole time you're there, you're in just like you said, a curtain, a tunnel or something. You don't get to see anything. You
Yeah.
perform. Yeah, you get to go sit down and then watch it, but you don't get to see you're not in the moment. That one
Yeah.
we got to actually watch a couple teams before we went on.
Yeah.
And so then you get to live more in a moment than be hidden. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
liked it.
liked it. I really liked it.
I like that
It was
part. That was
so
really
fun.
cool. And a lot of teams don't like to be watched and judged while they're performing because that might be your competition. And I get it; it's intimidating and stuff. But it wasn't like that.
No, and I
It
think
felt
it's
good.
because everybody was screaming the whole time.
Yeah.
I've never been in a louder arena. In the competition, like we've been to bigger competitions,
Yep.
but the arena is never that bit like that loud.
Yeah.
And just like it wasn't just your parents or your friends or your teammates or whatever that were screaming for you. It's other teams and other coaches and other parents, and it was just like so loud
Yeah.
the whole time. It wasn't like that in certain parts. Oh, they did a cool basket. Everybody's gonna yell, you know? It was the entire performance.
Yeah.
Both days.
Yeah.
So it was so crazy.
The only thing I could say, not that I didn't like, but that was different, was that we didn't have a cheer section, so the parents couldn't come down,
Yeah.
and the program couldn't come down and cheer close to the mat, so everybody was still up in the
Yeah.
seats. Um, and so when it was me and Coach Crystal, right, for Blaze and Ember, our other program, we were going back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
And so I know that a lot of us had to just be with our own team instead of our program because they're over there warming up.
Yeah.
And so then it would just be me and Crystal. Well, she had this side and I had this side. Well, I didn't have Coach Christina, Coach Raul, Coach
Jumping
Keith, and Coach
around.
Smith, cheering us on, and then our whole parent section. So I'm screaming, right?
Yeah.
I could just hear myself. And the first time ever, I could hear only myself cheer for my team, and I felt really like I'm too loud,
Awkward.
awkward. I don't know why. I just felt awkward. Yeah, and I'm
That
trying to
makes
sing the
sense.
song, where we say, "We are Amber." I think I was
Yeah.
off count. And I'm like, "Oh, this is weird." And I had the judges right behind me. It was just funny.
Yeah.
But I just not used to that.
Yeah.
So it was different. It was like trying to get into the moment, but I was over here on this little tiny mat by myself. And Crystal was on the
Yeah.
other side, so we had somebody cheering on,
The other side of
But
the
I think
mat.
that's the only thing I could say that not that
I
was
do
bad,
agree.
but just was different. And it to me, for me as a coach, not the athletes. For me as a coach, I wasn't. I was into it, but not like we usually are. We didn't have the fact. Some of the teams we went on though, we all got to kind of go because the time slot allowed us to. Like
Yeah.
we were on for Hot Shots and maybe Ignite.
Yeah.
I know Queens had their own. I think Royalty just had a couple. We were there for Rain. So we were there for
Yeah.
half, maybe a half of them, but the other half the coaches had to be by themselves.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but when you're talking about how the arena was loud, then that was better because
Yeah.
I know there's a part on one of my teams that they do the ending dance and we changed it, because that ending dance, I love it, but we kind of, it wasn't our vision. It wasn't hitting as
Yeah.
much. So we changed it for this comp. We finally have dialed that ending dance in. And when that one part hit, it wasn't our team.
It
I
was
can hear it.
crazy.
I couldn't hear anything else. But when that part hit, and I was like, wow, people are enjoying this comp and enjoying other
Yeah.
teams. I liked it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate. So if you were at that comp and you're a parent or an athlete on another team or a program and you're cheering our program on, we appreciate it because I
Yes.
know that we were cheering everybody on and we were trying to, cheer everybody
Yes.
on. And I appreciate that. So thank you so much because you made us feel fantastic.
So good.
Yeah.
Like it's just and it helps build confidence for the people performing and just when you're in a negative environment, you're like, okay, this is just awkward. I'm uncomfortable. I'm just going to get it done and get out. But when you're in a positive environment like that, it's so like you're enjoying the performance. Because, I mean, even with mistakes and things like that, you're like, you're just having fun.
Yeah.
And just the whole thing. It's just, it's good to look back on,
Yeah.
And it was just so awesome.
Yeah, we went to that comp and I told everybody we're just gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we want to go and do great, but whatever competition's there, we're gonna go and try our hardest and whatever. But on this one, let's try to have fun because some of our athletes were driving. It's over a 10-hour trip,
Yes.
10-hour drive. So they're driving. Let's go there. Let's make sure we disconnect and then we get into it and let's have a lot of fun because we're almost to the end of our season.
Yeah.
We have a comp coming up in 14 days. So we wanted to make sure we're having fun at the end of the season, and they did,
They
and we
did.
did great.
Yes.
Yeah, we did really good. Our
Yes.
program did amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the highest scores we've had all season, and I feel like it's
Yes.
because we went in trying to have some fun and
Not so stressed about it. It wasn't more of like, okay, you're going to do a job. You're going to go do something that you actually want to do and that you're enjoying and that you love to do and that like it was just really fun. So,
yeah, and another shout out to JAMZ
yeah.
because I feel like they set us up for success
Yes.
because when it's crazy backstage and when we're behind schedule or when things are just not working out and it's just like it feels rushed, then you feel like that. You just go, oh, no, let's just go get it done.
Yeah.
We had so much fun in between and the moments and stuff that it set us up to go out on the mat and actually do have fun.
Yeah.
We weren't stressed. We were having a great time.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
even did a little trivia in between the teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They were doing the shout outs and just things like that. And it was really cool.
Instagram shout outs,
Yeah.
Facebook, and all that stuff. It was great.
Yeah.
Killing time like that because a little bit ahead of schedule. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Some of those all star teams are great. They were getting ready for Worlds. I talked to a
Yeah.
couple coaches and stuff, and what's funny is we went out to Joe's Crab Shack, and our waiter Justin had his uniform still on because we didn't get to go back to change. And so he's like, "Did you just come off a cheer competition?" We're like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "My sister's there on Rev, that team Rev.
Hmm.
She's in there. She's cheering there too." And I was like, "Oh really?" And I didn't get her name. I didn't know who she was. But he's like, "Yeah, she's getting ready for Worlds." And I'm like, "What
That's
a good
awesome.
setup
Yeah.
to go push real quick. Get a comp out real quick, and then go compete at Worlds."
Yeah.
So it was that. It was cool.
That is cool.
And so they were, some of those teams are getting for Worlds, ready for Worlds for the next weekend. So that was good to see them really at their top of their season, and those
Yeah.
routines were good. I saw a few of them. I'm
Yes.
like, wow.
They were really cool.
Wow.
And well, a lot of times we don't get to actually watch the competition.
Yeah.
And so I know that there's teams that are like doing level 5, level 6 skills, but we don't ever get to watch them.
Yep.
We just see them warm up sometimes or like we just like know of them, so we know that they're there, but we don't get to watch it. And this time we got to watch them, and I was like, okay, that's so awesome.
Well, because we see it on YouTube, we see it on
Yeah,
Instagram, we see All Star Cheer,
but
we
it's
know what it
different
is.
in
Uh,
person.
but I've never been to a Worlds or a big comp. I think
Yeah.
we've been to U.S. finals where they go. Sometimes they come to jams,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But like you said, we're too busy. We don't get to watch them.
Right.
And for this one, we got to see. Oh, I was like,
The whole thing.
yeah, when they were doing like double fools and stuff like that, I was like, yikes, that's amazing. They're doing like
Yeah.
double full downs and stuff. I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like that. That's probably my most like the favoriteest thing of me watching a flyer is when they do that. They go up and they do those double
Yes.
fools and
Okay, and I
that
will
is my
say,
favorite move.
with the flowy skirts,
Yes.
when they're spinning and they have the flowy skirts, it looks so cool.
Yeah, the flowy skirts really don't do nothing too much until you start doing spins.
Yes,
Because they're
I
just
agree.
there. And then you see them and they're like, and you're like, that's what you have a
Yeah.
flowy skirt on? That's amazing. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah. No, I liked it. But us, we did amazing. Our
Yes, we
teams
did.
did really good. We took 6 out of 7 teams that went. had first place, and then
We all
our
had level champs.
yep, and we had one team that took second place.
Yeah.
Our 10U team, level 1. And they lost by that much.
So small.
But it was good because
Yeah.
they had competition, and we went against them, and we know where we stand, and we know what we need to work on for the next comp. So it was really good. I
Yes.
appreciate those moments like that. Even though you don't get the victory, you're learning in the second place.
Right.
You don't want to, you got to learn from that.
Yeah.
But we took level champs in level 1, right?
Yep.
Shout out to Queens. Yeah. We took level 2.
Royalty.
Yep. Royalty took level 2 level champs, and then level 3 we had our very own
Ignite.
Ignite. Yeah,
Yeah.
from here in Prescott's gym.
Their
our
first level
location,
champs.
first level champs. And then you guys went and did amazing and took grand champs.
Yes, we did.
With a really, really high score.
Yes, highest score we've scored ever. I feel okay. I think Ignite has had a good shot, but we haven't been too competitive. And now we finally have been able to do our upgrades. Everybody's gotten the skills that they've been working on, and everything's been consistent in practice, and it's finally applied to competition.
Paying off.
Yep. And so I feel like just those little things we finally got to upgrade and work on, and it's finally paid off.
Yes. And, so when you guys went down, Ignite had no competition in their division.
Right.
So nobody's in their division, right? And we have another team that we have, Rain, that is a 16U.
Yeah.
And we are 18U, and they didn't have any competition. But together, we have to have level champ. There's one of us is going to get level champ.
Yep.
So that means you have competition. So you didn't just get level champ because you're the only team at the comp. You actually had to go up against somebody.
Yep.
Just so happened to be one of our teams, but you guys prevailed on that. And
Right.
then you went and took grand champs, which means you're grand over all levels and every team in NA that
Yep.
competed that day. And so when sometimes you go to a competition, there's nobody there, and you don't have anybody in your age division, you don't have anybody in your level, and you get a first place, right? And you win.
Yeah.
And it's great. You get a ring, you get whatever, the banner and everything else. But in those moments, you have a chance to take level champ, and that's your competition. And that's what we
Yes.
always try to tell our athletes. We went and got first. Let's see where our score is, because a first place by ourselves is good for social media. It's good for the banners, right? It's good for yourself.
Right.
Oh, we took something. What we want to do is we took first and nobody was there. Where do we score? Wow, we scored way higher than last time. We're winning.
Yep.
We're doing it, right? Our hard work's paying off.
Yeah.
Okay, we took a high score and we got level champs. Oh, we're beating other people in our same level.
Right.
We're doing it. We're winning. We took grand champ. We beat everybody overall.
Yeah.
So we always let our athletes know, even though you're going up against your level, strive for a little bit more
Something
for level.
bigger.
If they
Right.
have a level at that comp, try for grand. If they have it at grand, sometimes they don't, sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Try for that, because it's competition, and we
Yeah.
got, and that's what made me so excited about Ignite,
Yes.
is that it would have been any one of our teams, any 7 of our teams got that. Yes, we are very excited for it. So to take grand over everybody that was there in our program, that was there for our program, was amazing, amazing feeling.
Yes.
Because you guys could have won Ignite level
And
3.
just
Could have took
one.
level champs,
Yeah.
and then you had this level 1 team take grand champs. You could have happened.
Yeah.
And but you didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And some of our athletes have been cheering together or chasing that national jacket forever.
Forever.
Coming up short.
It's always point something.
Less than a point,
I'm like,
point. What?
Like, even at nationals in January,
Yeah.
like, the difference between first and fifth was less than a point. And we were
Yes.
in fifth.
Yeah. And there's a lot
Because
of competition.
Yeah, but it
Less
was
than a
literally
point for
less
that.
than a point for between fifth and first.
Yeah.
And so it was always just those, like, 0.3, 0.1, and just, like, little upgrades that we just needed. And
I
then we
like
finally
those.
did it.
I like that, though.
Yeah.
Because that means, okay, we're doing something good. We're hanging with them.
Yeah.
We're not totally getting blown out, and we're doing good. We're
Yeah.
still, we're progressing. We're doing all right. And it sucks. You always want that national championship. But then we come back, and then you guys push through those
Yeah.
moments. You guys learn how to push through that moment and come together and say, you know what? I'm tired of it. At
Just
some
have to
point,
push it.
let's go have some fun and push.
Yeah.
And to see you guys, the ones on the teams that have been chasing that national jacket and you guys wearing it, made me feel so, like, Wow. That's what
Yeah.
they wanted this entire time was that
Yeah.
jacket. And when you think about it, it's like a trophy. You want that banner, you want that jacket is mine personally. I don't got to share it with the gym. I
Yes.
don't have to leave it at the gym. It doesn't just get hung up. I can wear it all over town, wherever I want, at school, and I'm going to be proud of this thing, right?
Yeah.
And I like how you guys were positive about winning that jacket and saying,
Yeah.
I put in this hard work, and you guys are taking pictures. That was a great moment.
Yeah. Some kids are all crying. I was like, "Aw." But yeah, I
And
mean,
a couple of you are seniors
yeah.
and don't know if you're going to come back. Don't know if you can come back. Don't know if you're going to cheer ever again.
Yeah.
Last shot, and you get to have
Finally.
what you've worked for 13 years,
Yeah.
14 or 12, 13 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
since you were 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been cool. And it's cool though because a lot of us have been together when we started doing sideline cheer, and when we were at other programs and we all just stuck together. And so to be able to have those wins with the people that you started with, you're starting and you're finishing with those same people. So I think that was also just like it just felt good
Yeah.
for the little kid in me.
Yeah. You in
Yeah.
Brooklyn. I
Yeah.
like your post. The one of you guys posted it, and it was saying that we had a dream
Yeah.
and we chased it together and we succeeded, whatever it
We
was, right? It was
succeeded
kind of like
together.
in that, I
Yeah.
don't know the exact words, but it was like that. You
Yeah.
guys have chased, you had wanted the dream since the first time you guys went to Jams for the
Yeah.
jackets. You saw everybody wearing jackets walking around, and you guys worked and worked and chased and chased and chased and worked and worked, and you finally got it.
Finally.
And it was great. And I think that was a perfect moment
Yeah.
because you never knew if you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it would be like, oh, we got it when I was 15. Okay, I got it. And it's good. I'm not saying it's not good because those are really
Yeah.
good. But what I'm saying is you felt the reward after all the time at the very end. And it was like, I feel like when I watched you guys realized, man, all that work was worth it.
Yes, finally. And I feel like too what made it more like the win was more of like a personal win because not only did we win the jacket, but we took those other titles with it, and then we also hit zero. Like if we
Yes.
won, but we had a million mistakes, it'd have been like it wasn't really worth it. I mean, it's cool we finally got our jacket, but we still wouldn't have felt too good about the performance. But I feel like because we hit so hard those first 2 days or those only 2 days,
Yeah.
it was just so much more.
Yeah.
So it
More
just felt
rewarding.
so good.
Yeah, it was so good. And then like you guys didn't just get it because you're the only like you guys didn't just get it handed to you. Like you showed up,
Yeah.
you did your zero, you scored higher, but there's no competition and here's a jacket. That's why when you guys won it, I was like, it's so rewarding for you guys
Yes.
because you had competition.
Yeah.
You had and you left with a jacket and then you took grand. So it was just more. It was like
Yeah.
it's just this feeling that's like we're on top of the world, right? And you can't
Yes.
guarantee that every comp. You might
No.
win this one and lose the next one and never win or win one or win them all. Who knows? But
Yeah.
in those moments, you guys really, really enjoyed it, and I just was like,
Still feels unreal.
yeah.
It's crazy,
I love
but
when you
it's
guys
so
all come into
awesome.
practice and y'all have your jackets. It's hot outside, guys,
Yeah,
and it's
because
hot in
we're
the
in
gym.
Arizona
Yep,
and it's so hot. The
it's
summer's
warming up.
coming. And, sometimes, like on our Saturdays, we have practice in the middle of the day. And it is so hot. But we still have them on.
I'll sweat in that
Yeah,
jacket all day.
I was sweating it all day.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, that's our second national jacket to this program,
Yeah,
Prescott Valley. We had one 2 years ago with Blaze, our level one,
yeah.
and now we have Ignite, our level three, and we're moving forward and we're having progressive, successful seasons. The jacket's not success, but we're scoring high in the first
Yes.
place, and so we're doing so good. I think our routines are great
They're
this
very
season.
competitive.
This
And they're
season.
really keeping up with the scores with not just NA, but our coaches telling us too. Like we have competitive scores with all-star teams. And because you can
Yeah. Oh yeah.
compare the scores online because they post them, and just we can see how well we score compared to an all-star level. Because we look up to those people too. So it's just cool to see that we're hanging with the scores too. So it was really cool.
Yeah, I think she said you guys were the top four,
Four, yeah.
four or something like that of the whole entire 2 days, which means All Star included of the highest score,
Yeah.
which is really amazing. That's really good,
Yeah.
to be compared to that.
And
Yeah,
we're a team of 8.
8.
So it's we've competed against teams that have 30 athletes, 28 athletes. And so to be a team of 8, we're like, okay, we're already going to lose because we're a small team and they're bigger. They could do cooler things. But it's not about the amount of kids on the team. It's about the skills you're doing, how you execute them, and just the little things and how you do your motions and literally just
That
the
score
tiny,
sheet.
tiny scores. You compete against the score sheet. And that's what our coach always tells us. And um, I think we're all kind of realizing what she means by that now.
Yeah.
And it literally just took that.
Shout out to
So,
Coach Christina.
yes,
Yeah.
she's a genius.
I love that moment where she was like, you could just see it. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this is because she took kind of a gamble. You know, you take this leap of faith and you start
Yeah.
another program somewhere else and you don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And you can see that program is succeeding because you brought it to another city, you know,
And you
and you
trusted it.
branched out. Yeah, and you trust the process. And she tells us all the time to trust the process. And she did that.
Yeah.
And it was rewarding for her. And I saw that and I'm like, this is such a good moment for everybody involved, for our
Yeah.
program, for the athletes, for the parents. I really, really enjoyed the comp. And not just because we won.
Yeah.
The entire, that's why I said, shout out to JAMZ. You put on a great event.
Yes.
Shout out for the parents for showing up and getting your kid. I know it was a struggle. I know it was financially struggling, driving, flying, whatever you did, you showed up.
Yeah.
The kids were ready. Everybody had a good time. It
And it's
was
2 days too.
2 days.
You know,
Yeah.
the 1 day comps are so much easier. You just have the 1 day and then the next day you can rest. But like when you do the back-to-back day comps, it's like you're exhausted, but you have to go push because the second day is worth far more of the percentage than the first day is. So it's harder, but it's really testing and pushing the athletes
Yeah.
and the parents
Yeah.
and the coaches.
Yeah.
So it's
And
really just testing everybody. But
yeah,
it's good.
I think I don't know if one of our teams hit zero, but I think out of the 2 days, at least all of our teams hit zero one day.
Yeah,
Besides, I think
I
one
think so.
team.
Who?
Was the Hot Shots? They hit zero?
Oh no, Hot Shots never hit 0.
So yeah, I think yeah, but I think
I was like, wait.
I think every almost all of our teams out of 7 teams hit zero at least one of those 2 days, and
Yeah.
that makes it rewarding because you can't always guarantee the zero. You strive for it, but you can't. And it was just good to say, okay, we got a score sheet of our full hit zero. Okay, cool. You know, and
Yes.
it was good. I
Yeah.
liked it. And yeah, like
Which is really good.
yeah,
Because overall, nothing but good things.
sets us up to go into Pinnacle feeling good about ourselves,
Yes.
feeling like we can do it, and we're gonna go against some stiff competition there also.
Yeah.
And I think we can overcome that mental side of oh my god because we're gonna go and do it right.
Yeah.
We're gonna be there. We have the scores to be there.
Yeah.
You know,
And be
like if we score
competitive.
like let's say under 90, right? And we're going into another competition. It's like, you know, we have to be above 93, 94, 95 in these divisions that we're in.
Yeah.
We've seen it all season. You got to be in that 94, 95 to be up in to place.
Yeah.
And so to see us doing that, if we are below the 90, but we won first and we're winning, it's like,
Questionable.
it's questionable to go into your next comp. So I
Right.
love that we're set up to know as coaches and a program, we're doing enough in our routines and we come up with enough stuff and put enough skills in there and really went through the rule book and our drivers and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we're doing it. So I feel really good. I feel set up
Yeah.
for Pinnacle to be an amazing event, win or lose, whatever happens there, we're going to go into it feeling like we can conquer the world because we're at that moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And it's good because we're at a place where we can feel confident about what we're performing because we just have to go clean it up and run it over and over and over and nothing but full outs versus having to change it because you're still not competitive. And if we were at that stage in our season where we just had to keep changing it, we'd be questioning if it's still going to score well or if we're even going to hit it at comp. But because we're hitting well and we're scoring well, we just have to clean up sections and just work on that so you could just perform it confidently and not have to question what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
So I like that because it's very rare that I've performed confidently because I feel good at practice. A lot of times I don't feel good at practice, so I'm not like I'm questioning what I'm going to perform and how well I'm going to do because we are not able to go full out or our coaches are changing things or whatever. And so to have those competitions that you go into confidently are really good.
Yeah, and I want to say another shout out to everybody that was there, programs, athletes. the jam staff, the competition. I just want to say, when you put it out positively like that, I saw a shift in you personally,
Yeah.
and you went in there confident, and you hit your tuck right? And you've had some, you can do it, but
Yeah.
it's like I felt like since it was set up for success in a positive environment, you felt good. Am I right?
Yeah, I
And you went
agree.
in there and you went yes, and it wasn't like this negative. It was just like great moment where you were like, this is my moment. I'm gonna live in this moment. Like
Yeah.
we tell all the athletes, and you listened and you took it and you went and you lived in that moment, and it was rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went in confident. I feel like there's some athletes where you can go and you're hitting and then you're cocky when you go into it. But I was like confident, not cocky. And so I just trusted what I was doing and I had to apply what I was doing at practices to the full out on stage. And it was the first time that I've hit my tucks all season. I've hit my first tuck, but the second tuck I've consistently fallen. Um, but I finally hit them and I hit them both days and I hit my first tuck as well. And then I hit my stunts and things like that. And when I landed, I screamed so loud and I was so excited because I was like, I know that my teammates look for that moment. They're like, oh, did Izzy land? And then they're like, okay, well, the rest of the full out can just be whatever. And so we all had good runs at the beginning, so the rest of our full out went really, really, really well.
Yeah.
And we just felt really confident at the end and just we got up after we were done with our dance and we're all screaming and we're all hugging and jumping around and it was so cool.
Yeah.
It was just such a good feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't even care what we placed, if we lost, if we won, if we didn't get level or whatever. I didn't even care. I felt good.
Yeah. No, you saw us. I couldn't see your face, but I could hear you
I was
because
like,
you had your back to us, and then when you turned around in that big moment, you have emotion you're supposed to do.
yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, she's excited, and it was just like this. As coaches in a program, to see athletes like feel that, and do good because they are struggling. We don't give up on you, and we
Yes.
really work with you on both sides, physically, mentally. We try to keep you in it, and we can't control it. We
Yeah.
can only set you up. Like we give you the right tools, the process of
Yeah.
it. We can't control that moment when you're about to do it. And for so long, we've been working with that, all of us as a program, to try to make
Yeah.
sure not just you, but a couple of the whole team, the whole program is hitting those marks and succeeding where they think they're failing.
Yeah.
It was really good, and I'm glad we don't give up on our athletes, and I'm glad we trust
Yes.
that process, and I'm glad that we don't just say, get out of here, give me another athlete. And who
Yeah.
walked through the door? Oh, she walked through the
Yeah.
door. What do you got? Cool, you're on the team. Get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
Seen it.
And it's nice though because not only do we have good coaches, but like the athletes are also like they didn't give up on me either. And I feel like
Yes.
that was so much more like I always felt better because everybody could have been like, "Oh my god, this is so annoying. She's always the deduction," you know? And it could have been like that. And I could have been like, "Just pull me from the section." But I didn't give up on myself because the my teammates were like, "Just keep trying it. Just keep trying it." And I kept trying it. And I didn't pull myself. They didn't ask for me to be pulled. The coaches didn't say, "Hey, do you think this is better off this way?" There was nobody that ever did that, and they just trusted it. Even though it was over halfway through the season, it,
We
it
know.
all just paid off.
We can see
So,
it. We know. We
yeah.
know how hard you work also, and that was good to see because those athletes did.
Yeah.
They was, come on, Izzy, you got it, you got it, you got it, and it was great. It was a great moment,
Yeah.
right? And so, I was proud, and you should own that. You should be excited for it. You should
Yep.
post about it. You should be okay, and you should be really
Yeah.
showing that, hey, listen, not just for yourself, because you're not selfish. I know. You post it for other athletes to say, hey, listen, if you're stuck in this moment like I was,
Yeah.
look what could happen if you just keep pushing forward. And that's why we do this podcast. We're positive. We're trying to
Yeah.
change athletes' minds of how they go into things. And that was such a beautiful end of not the end of the story, end of that chapter
Right.
of struggling, how to
Yes.
deal with it, coping with an injury, um, falling at comps, and pushing through all of that.
Yes.
And then you come out, and not only on the comp that you hit it, you scored the highest, and you took level and grand champ, and you got yourself a jacket. And it was just like this storybook ending, like movie moment
Yes, it was
that
a movie
Disney should pick
moment.
up. Yes, Disney Plus. Shout out to Disney Plus. We love you. So hit us up. But you know what I mean?
Put me
Yeah,
in.
yeah, put me in. But yeah, it was like this moment of
Yeah.
the program and the athlete and the staff and the athletes, the teammates.
Yep.
Just this big old moment
It was
of
so
not just for
crazy.
you, but for everybody,
Right.
because the whole team did all their job. Everybody did their job. All the other teams did their job. I know every team was struggling here and there, and
Yeah.
it didn't show too much. I didn't
Yeah.
see it.
Me either.
We had
Everybody
yeah,
seemed confident
yeah.
and happy and just they wanted to be there.
That's it.
So it was really
Yeah.
nice.
And the team that did take second, they did amazing. They went into day one. After day one, they were point zero two, not point two, point zero two ahead. So they were in first. And it was going to come down to who can hit zero, day two.
Yeah.
And, we had a tumbling bust. Never, ever happens. Never
Yeah.
happens. Somebody crossed paths. It just, accident. Those are set up in cheer.
Yeah.
You're going to have those moments. We came up a little short by point two with a 0.5 deduction. So that was really close.
Yeah.
But that was a good moment because we know, okay, we can hang with the team that took first.
Yeah.
And we took second, and we got some building to do. And they're ready. They didn't even blink an eye. They came back and said, "Okay, let's go. We got Pinnacle."
And we gave them a lot of upgrades.
Yep.
So to see that they could handle the routine that they were given and things like that,
With
like
just
they
an
felt,
accident.
yeah,
It was
they
just a little
felt
accident.
good and they looked good
Yeah.
because they haven't competed the routine that specific routine yet.
Yep.
And they finally upgraded and they hit really well.
Yeah. So even in our
Regardless.
second places,
Yeah.
we took the winning moments and we took the positivity, and that team, we set them up for that because that's what we coach and that's what we teach our athletes.
Yes.
And they came back to the first practice ready to go. Let's go. We got work to do, and they're 10 years old.
Yeah.
And some of
They're
them
the
aren't even
youngest
10.
team.
They're the youngest team in the program, and they're ready to work. And so I loved it.
Yeah.
And part of that was just because they had a good experience also.
Yes.
So yeah, we are ready for Pinnacle.
Yeah,
we have
are.
Pinnacle in 14 days.
Showcase this weekend.
Showcase this weekend down in Sierra Vista.
2 days.
Come by, show up. I don't know if this podcast will be out. You know what? I think I can get it done tonight. Okay. So if it's out, show up at Sierra Vista Elite
In
1
Sierra Vista.
in Sierra Vista.
Don't come here.
Don't come here in Prescott. We will not be here. But we're all traveling down. We're going to have a big old showcase. We're going to have an end of the year tailgating before. The MC is going to be there. It's going to be great. So if this is after, if this is after the showcase, we had fun. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we're going to go down there, show off all of our teams. It's just our program going to be there this time. But we get a chance to have fun, loosen up, be in front of all the parents and guests, and I can't wait. And then we come back and we get ready for Pinnacle, JAMZ Pinnacle in Las Vegas at the Orleans 2-day comp. They haven't done Pinnacle 2 days, so it's going to be great. We have some good competition going.
Yeah.
And we're going to see where we end up at the end of the season.
Yeah.
All of our hard work, no matter the banner, no matter the placement, where are we on the score sheet? How do we go into the comp? How do we leave the comp? Where was our skills from December, our first comp in December in Anaheim, all the way through Pinnacle? And where do we stack up in our scores and our progression and our skill wise?
Yeah.
And that is going to be a winning, successful season when we stack all that up.
Yeah.
If we stacked it up today, we'd be a success. So going into Pinnacle, we're a success already because we've done the work, we've done the points, we've gotten better and better and better. And I'm proud of that. I'm really excited, and I hope every other team out there for the next 14 days is going to work and work and work so that when we get to see you and compete against you, nothing bad, nothing negative about it, but you're going to bring 100%. We're going to bring 100%.
And we're all just going to hit.
And we're all going to hit.
And may the best competitor win.
And may the best routine win. Right?
Yeah. That's how I want it.
That's how I want to end the season.
Me too.
Yep. So, we want you to work. We're positive for you. We're rooting you on. We're cheering you on. We wish you all the best health and, everything goes successful for you and you have all these great practices. So we can see you at Pinnacle and it's going to be a great time. So, another JAMZ competition. We get to see all the JAMZ staff. So
love them.
Yep. And when you get to Pinnacle, support other teams.
Yes.
NA, support, well, not just NA, but support other programs. We are in the business right now.
Yeah.
We are trying to work on that. I know our program works on that. They coach us and they teach us that so that you're positive and you're supporting other programs. We need that in the cheer community. We need that mental health wise. We need that in our cheer program so we can build cheer and build cheer and build cheer. It's getting so big now just because of the Netflix shows, the YouTube shows. There's so much more social media about cheer now. It's brought new light to me, because I don't know how it was 6 years ago before that,
Yeah.
but I've heard a lot about it more now. Not just because I'm in it. Does that make sense? Not
Yes.
just because I'm in
From the
it.
public view.
Yes,
Right.
because it's out there now. So I'm support other programs. Say hi. Take pictures. Be a
Yeah.
good person. Pin people. Make sure that you're having those good times, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And be competitive, but don't be negative.
Yes.
You can be competitive. Smile. I'm in my moment. Hi, nice to meet you. Get focused. Go out and hit.
Yeah.
Be nice about it. Be competitive. Bring your A game, because I hope we're bringing ours. Yes.
Yeah.
So
A little good luck goes a long way. Like, yeah, we're not saying you have to, when they're performing, go to the front and scream for them. You don't have to go all out and extra, but a simple good luck, or I like your uniform. Just little things like that. And also, if you've never pinned a person, it is so fun. So I suggest pinning people because you get to be sneaky and just like a little ninja, and
yes.
and it's just really fun.
And you go home and you're like, what is all this on me?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, who is this? And you start reading them and the stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. And we
Mhm.
got some special pins we're going to be bringing to Pinnacle. So look out for
Yes.
those. We're excited about those. Yeah.
It's really
So
fun.
we're going to be pinning people from the dynamic duo SVE. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah. Anyways, I'm ready for Pinnacle.
Me too.
And I'm not thinking about next season because we have 14 days left of this one. So I'm going to enjoy every moment and do that. You seniors out there, you athletes that, cheer maybe not worked out for you, or you have to move, or something is going on at the end of the season where you made your commitment and you're going to fulfill the commitment. We really appreciate you for that.
Yes.
And if you have to move on from cheer, you have to move on for any reason or whatsoever from your program, we wish you the best of luck, but we also want these last 2 weeks or however many months or whatever you got left in your season to live in the moment, enjoy the sport, enjoy what you're doing, your teammates and everything. And because in 14 days for us,
Yeah.
it's going to be done. And that moment, chapter of our lives are going to be over for
Yeah.
some. And
And
you
you
can't
don't get
get
it
it back.
back. Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You really
You don't
don't.
get it back. And so just live in it.
Yeah.
Don't be negative and like depressed, because you can get depressed. You can get like, oh my God. You can do that because it's reality. It's a feeling. It's an emotion.
Yeah.
Last couple weeks, let's make sure we hit hard. We show up to practice. We're pumped up. We're ready to hit. We're ready to do full outs.
Yeah.
And enjoy the moment, even if it's your last competition
Even
in the
if it's
sport.
horrible and you're sweaty and it's hard and
Yes.
you're tired, just enjoy it.
And we
Because
appreciate
one
you.
day you're gonna wish you were in the gym doing 20 full outs and bear crawls
Yep.
and planks and
Yeah.
whatever else.
Instead of at work.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
living life. Yeah.
even if it's not that fun, you'll appreciate it later.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're moving on from cheer, you're moving a program, you're moving on not in cheer to a different sport, we appreciate all of you athletes, coaches as well. If you're a
Yeah.
coach and you're moving on, hey, we appreciate the time that you put into cheer, because it's not easy, and you've made it competitive and you've made it bigger and better. So we do appreciate those people that have been in cheer, and this is the end of the road for you. So
Yeah.
live in the moment, be positive, give people advice, and cheer them on as well.
Yeah.
We will
Just
be
have
cheering.
fun.
Yeah. And
We'll scream for you
yeah.
obnoxiously.
Yeah. I think I might be giving out some merch or something at Pinnacle. Walking up instead of pinning people,
That'd
throwing
be
them a
fun.
t-shirt, a hat.
Like those potato guns? Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
do that with the t-shirt.
Yeah. I just
I wanna
sneak
do
on
that.
stage with the
No, I'm kidding.
jam staff,
Yeah.
start shooting out
That'd be funny.
t-shirts. No. But yep, we're excited. So we thank you for listening to this podcast. Like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends, tell everybody else. Give us comments, give us feedback.
Yes.
And if you were at the Utah comp, hit us up, let us know what team you were on, your division, what you placed, good moments, if you saw us, what you thought of us, right?
Yeah.
And we appreciate all of you. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a good comp. So
Yes.
and we will see you
Next time.
Gotta had it. Oh!